The services that I'm told to do for help take advantage of me for government funding. That's what they do. They do the same thing to others. Well, that was annoying. I got harassed at the library. I tried to turn in the ladies at First Steps as well as the police for the crimes that they committed. See, the thing is that the cops came in and sold a false narrative when I was trying to turn in situations that were happening. Now, the police came in and claimed that some guy called them and said I was wanted in some connection with some murder happened. Like, no, that's not the case. And it is not okay for you to repeatedly harass me over every rumor, since obviously you know it's BS, or you would have arrested me and taken me in for questioning. Instead, it's, oh, you say you didn't do it? Okay, that's fine. No. The cops have repeatedly harassed me for crimes that didn't happen. This is one of their tactics. They'll have somebody call it in. This is very common. This is one of the tactics that is used to harass me. No, I don't like it. Who would? Anyway, the cops have harassed me repeatedly at places like Walmart. And of course, over there at the library today. And over at First Steps. Places I'm trying to go and get help because I'm being abused by police. And they're getting to call me mentally ill and ignore autism. And see, here's the thing, is at the autism place, what do? They refuse to look at any evidence. They're the kind of people who take advantage of us. They told me that they're for all adults and children with disabilities. And then, where are they now? Oh, come on. Maybe now I can go. Anyway, I have to go get a USB drive over here at Walmart, and I hope I'm not messed with over here again. See, the cops came and messed with me over here repeatedly. And then they came over here and, oh, this is a bus lane. Never mind, that's not going to work. They came over here and messed with me repeatedly until I had a mental breakdown from getting messed with. Now, the cops have shown up on multiple occasions for white girls pretending like something bad might happen, but they won't do anything about abuse that I'm actually having to endure. Actual harassment, and a lot of it. However, if I say anything to anyone that I'm a harasser, Jesus Christ. Anyway, I'm hoping to get into Walmart without a hitch. I ain't done nothing to those people, which is good. I'm gonna take both of my phones with me. That way I can, all three of my phones with me, I guess. I did stay in this parking lot a few nights. Quite a few people do. Anyway, I was victimized to the point that I had a meltdown. Well, not quite a meltdown. I'm going to have to call it what it is. A mental breakdown. Harassment by people. Police who won't do anything about it. This isn't okay. And everywhere I go, I get treated that way. Like I'm not a human being. To explain that too. My phone's getting a little bit hot. So, I gotta buy a USB drive so that I can take care of some of the crap going on here. And then I should be good for a while. I gotta go back down to the library. All of this takes time, costs money. If I record it, then I can post it up immediately, provided my phone is working and everything is up to date and I have a place to do it. And there's a lot of factors involved, like, well, like having to charge up your electronics. Lots of driving around to places that you're told are supposed to help you, or stopping into places that are supposed to help you. And you have to record the situation. If you don't record it, it's their word versus yours. Fortunately for me, police officers have to wear their body cameras. The problem is that when they know that they've broken the law, they'll just arrest you on false charges, victimize you into leaving town. Open necessity. They try to make you look like a bad person. They don't investigate any of the things you're supposedly being harassed for. They claim that there was a call. Well, you know what? Instead of you going ahead and being bullies to me about that, why don't you take a look at the evidence? Why don't you actually investigate it? Why don't you actually look at it? This is not okay. Anyway, the police this morning, I was getting ready to write a video about how you try to turn in the cops, how they retaliate. Excuse me, sir. Can I get one of your USB sticks?
The flash drives?
Yes, sir. Thank you for correcting me. Let's see, which ones are the cheapest and how much
The
is on them?
cheapest one that we have at the moment is going to be the 32 gig 4 8 bits.
I'll take the 64 actually.
64?
No.
You want to pay for this back here or up front?
Here will work.
Okay.
I'm trying to get my internet to work so I can keep my YouTube channel up and going, but it's not liking me right now. I might have to come back later and get one of the booster cards that you have. Oh, that's not it.
7 idiots.
Yes, sir. There we go.
All right. $212 you got back.
Thanks, sir.
And you're all good to go.
Thank you.
Okay. You have a good day.
I'm trying to. There's a lot of real not nice people around here that are making it, but I'm doing my best to power through. Thank you much. I don't know how well this thing is recording, but it hasn't shut off yet, so that's a good thing. I'll go to the bathroom before I head out. One of the things about these people not looking at my situation is that when they say that they believe me, that they don't do what it is that they're supposed to do if they do believe me. They're supposed to turn it in right away, and instead it becomes an argument. See, I get bullied no matter where I go, and the fact is I do have to go public with it because of how I'm treated. Alright, here's the bathroom. The cop earlier that came to harass me, he came to harass me at the library. There was no reason for him to harass me at the library. But I'm going to play for you part of why. I'm not the only victim here. I'm not the only victim in Colorado either. And Claire's situation is now coast to coast, same as mine. Her situation started here, took her to Florida and back to Colorado. Lovely. So the police basically just run around harassing me everywhere I go in retaliation for me trying to turn them in. When I tried to go to mandated reporters, the police showed up to harass me and make false statements in front of others with the intention of, well, what do they call that? I'm trying to remember the legal term for it. Trying to blackball me from everywhere. Now, Ashley and Brandy, I posted about them on my YouTube channel. They were fine with breaking the law. All these places trying to send me to other jurisdictions because they don't want to do their jobs, telling me things like, "Oh well, you should go to Portland, you should go to Salem, you should go to Eugene, places where they have services." Well, they have services in all the places that I've been as well. The problem is that those services are refusing to do their jobs. They're going out of their way to exploit our disability. And that's the problem with First Steps, is that they're more likely to teach you how to abuse your children. To abuse your children themselves for stimming, which of course we know that they will antagonize you by talking over you, talking down to you like you're a puppy, and then screaming at you, or of course trying to tone bully you. Now you notice when I tone bully people back, they don't like it. But I'm not doing it to tone bully them. I'm doing it because they're tone bullying me and speaking over me, and I need to be heard. I am the victim here. Why everyone else's opinion is more important than the person who is there. That's right, Sean David Schwartz. I'm the guy you guys need to listen to. Now, we got a lot of hateful people here. They always have to hate on someone. And we got a lot of people who get highly offended over stupid stuff. You're the wrong skin color. You're the wrong gender. You don't speak the right language. You don't like the right people. Or you don't hate the people that they hate. There's a lot of stupid reasons for being stupid to people. What I'm trying to advocate for is humanity. Did Jesus say, "Oh, hell no, she doesn't deserve any help. She's a prostitute. Let her get stoned to death"? No, that's not what the Jesus did. Well, that's what a lot of people who claim to me that they're Christians are doing. Yes, but, well, those people that are doing this. What about all those black people shooting black people? What about all these people coming across the border? Oh my God, I'm afraid. Like, you know what? You can blame whoever you want for all these crimes, but the fact is you're more likely to be killed by your mother or father than you are to be killed by anyone else, bar none. When it comes to violent deaths, 62% of those are committed by one or the other parents. 31% of those are women, and 31% of those are men. The statistics are equal. But we're not allowed to say that, or it's sexist. Meanwhile, we get to see nationwide how it really comes down to what white girls think. If enough white girls care enough to share it on Facebook, it goes viral and the whole world is supposed to believe it. Well, that's just insanity, folks. We're all human beings. Where you were born does not make it so that you magically aren't victimized. Oh, and you say, you can't use the word victim, you have to say survivor. How about you kiss my grits? I stick up for a lot of people. Anyway, I got my USB stick thing here. I got myself a soda pop so that I could try to cool down my phone. I'm glad I didn't get harassed here at Walmart by the police again. But it's commonplace. People have their assumptions of what's going on. And then there's the reality of fact that I've been on this YouTube channel for years, trying to get actual help. And what people seem to think is actual help is to talk over me and send me to places alone that are supposed to help us, but won't help us if we go in alone. We're too easy to talk over. Look at the situation with myself and with Claire. Her oldest daughter, abducted from her by the state of Oregon. Well, sort of. They wouldn't help her. The landlord where her ex was staying was threatening to shoot Claire in front of her kids. This landlord was saying it. You abuse us until we have a meltdown, and then you pretend that we're monstrous for having meltdowns. Meanwhile, it shouldn't be called a meltdown. Let's call it what it is. It's a mental breakdown from abuse and neglect. I'm having to go to a bunch of people with trauma who are being ignored by the same government. while you blame the poor people. So this morning, I was harassed by cops over at the library. That's to try to make anybody who is there with children paranoid and think less of me and think that, well, it possibly could come down on them if they're a business owner or something like that. They make up false crimes and lie to people. But you can't record them 24/7. You can only record the actions that you busted them with when they're there. Lucky for me, the officer had a body camera. Let's hope he was intelligent enough to turn it on, or unintelligent enough, because that'd get him in trouble. And that's why somebody needs to go in with you, because it's too easy for police officers to destroy their body cameras, to shut it off, or for their coworkers just to refuse to investigate and ignore the law. See, there are different circumstances that require them to do different things. When they'll just talk over you so they don't hear the circumstances, it denotes that they already know the circumstances and they don't want to hear it. Because if they do hear it, then they're breaking the law by looking the other way. That's why they try to talk over me when I tell important details. All right, here we go. It's hot out here. Very hot. Anyway, I'm gonna play something from Claire. I've played it a few times today, I'm aware. I don't care. I'm all rimey-dimey today. All right. It's getting a little hot in here. I can't roll down my window. Had to tape it up. I did get some military boots today. Just like, well, they didn't have exactly these ones at the commissary, but, what was it? 2001. They had all sorts of cool stuff down there. Well, today they had some at the library. Thank goodness for those kind folks at the library.
So I'm in my car. Hang on a second. I'm in one of the canyons, so I just have to get all the way back up to Estes where I work. Anyway, yeah, I absolutely understand those situations, and I'd love to testify about it because I had so many situations where basically, like, it's like the Stanford prison experiments on a massive scale out there. It's fucking disgusting. People drive people to madness over, like, power and control. Like, they really get a kick out of controlling the homeless population out there, but then they don't actually want to do anything about it, and so they just push people until they break. And then when they break, they're like, oh, see, this is why you can't function in society. It's like, oh, okay, so you're going to torture me for 4 months, use all my resources, send me in endless loops to go check out other resources, other places, until I have less than I started with. Take away every basic necessity of living and comfort, massive hierarchy of basic needs, man. Like, no shelter, no food. Yeah, people are going to lose their shit. And you start treating people like like they have less than animal rights, you're going to end up with a lot of people basically gone feral, and now you're cornering them and threatening them. Of course they're going to fight back. That's not a mental health problem. That's torture.
Exactly. Alright, so I need to use this other phone, to use the MapQuest to go to the Warrenton library. I actually don't need it now to find the library. I know where that's at, but we're going to go there anyway. I'm going to turn up the volume on it so that it'll give us instructions. Warrenton Community Library. Open. Directions. Alright. The internet's going a little bit slow today. Alright. Well, everything's overheating, so let's hope for the best. Making sure I don't back into anybody. I should probably put this here, even though it's probably not going to get very good reception. I'm fucking overheating, and my phone will likely overheat too.
300 feet, turn left on the Southeast Anson Lane. Take the next left onto Southeast Anson Lane.
The good thing about MapQuest is it'll give you the miles per hour. So at least you know how fast you're going. So Ashley and Brandy were nice when I first went there. God, get into gear. There he goes. I'll show you my hood ornament in just a minute too. It's a unicorn. It cost me $1.25 at the Dollar General. Up and wait, right? Oh, it is hot. There he goes. I'm going to give you an example of how people blow off. Alright, so for me, living in these conditions, that guy who was going to help me, Daniel Whitehouse, well, he did talk over me a lot, like everybody does, but he did mean well. Sorry, I'm trying to pay attention to make sure my driving is damaged to the safety purpose. Anyway, what I said to him, I said, hey, look what I'm living in. Is this humane to force somebody to live in these conditions? Try to get help. And he looked at my car and he goes, oh, I've been there. I'm like, that's not a proper answer. That's not a yes or no. Well, here's the thing, like, is it humane for somebody to live in this condition? Was it humane when they did it, when you had to live through that? He said, oh, I kind of deserved it. Told me a little bit about his history with drug use. And I'm like, see, here's the thing, is that you're comparing my situation to your situation while you were doing drugs. You know, I mean, you deserve it. Isn't you putting yourself in my shoes? Or understanding.
Destination is on the right.
That's it. Alright. Oh my God. On the bright side, I stay pretty well public enough to where if people want to harm me, it's at least public, so somebody will see it, maybe. Uh,
So I'm in my car. Hang on a second. I'm in one of the canyons, so I just have to get all the way back up to Estes where I work. Anyway, yeah, I absolutely understand those situations, and I'd love to testify about it because I had so many situations where basically, like, it's like the Stanford prison experiment on a massive scale out there. It's fucking disgusting. People drive people's madness over like power and control. Like they really get a kick out of controlling the homeless population out there, but then they don't actually want to do anything about it, and so they just push people.
They're taking government
until they
funding for
break.
jobs they're not doing.
And then when they break, they're like, oh, see, this is why you can't function in society. It's like, oh, okay, so you're going to torture me for 4 months, use all my resources, send me in endless loops to go check out other resources, other places until I have less than I started with. Take
Same
away
thing I'm doing.
every basic necessity of living and comfort. Maslow's hierarchy of basic needs, man. Like, no shelter, no food. People are going to lose their shit. And you start treating people like they have less than animal rights, you're going to end up with a lot of people that are basically gone feral, and now you're cornering them and threatening them. Of course they're going to fight back. That's not a mental health problem. That's torture.
Yeah. Anyway, I gotta make a film about abuse. Oh, it's really low. Alright, we'll have to keep that in mind. Oh, no, we can't. Everything is overheating, and I need to shut everything down. There it goes. Cops often like to say things that, well, even though you need to record it for your safety, they're just going to talk over you. Just so you know, you have to go in and fill out paperwork and have an actual address, just so you know, and have somebody go in with you, and have $15 so that you can get just one of their body cameras. That's right, you have to pay for evidence of their abuse. That's why it's important to record at all points in time. It's obviously difficult to keep everything charged up like that, isn't it? That's right, it is. So, I'm going to be going in and making sure I got stuff charged up. I'll just take the whole pile here if it'll actually fit in my pocket. And hopefully I don't get harassed again. What's the likelihood that I'll be retaliated against like this repeatedly? Pretty good. Those of you who don't consider it harassment, well, you would certainly consider it harassment if I did it to you. It's sad I'm right-handed. My left hand is a lot stronger than my right. Knock, knock. I totally scared you on purpose.
It's okay. How can I help?
I was just making sure you all wasn't having a group. I got my stuff plugged in. It just takes me a few trips because of my injuries to get stuff in and plugged in.
That's totally fine, just as long as you keep an eye on it.
Yes, ma'am. I'm having all sorts of fun.
Oh,
Yeah, cops came to harass me here this morning
yeah? For what?
to try to deter me from getting help turning them in. I tried going to First Steps to try to get help with what I'm legally supposed to have help with.
Yeah.
And ladies at First Steps were, at first they were nice and they were receiving, they were listening, and then a cop showed up and claimed that I was wanted for questioning for killing somebody in Colorado. I'm like, that is not the case.
Colorado?
Yeah. So they said some guy called him. I'm like, the only two people that I've talked to about this are these two ladies here in the autism place.
Yeah.
Now, he went out of his way to try to insinuate that I was involved in killing somebody. I was like, no, dude, you need to get out of here. That's not okay. That is never acceptable. And so the ladies after that, they were all the things that they said they could do when I first got there, they started playing stupid and they couldn't. Yeah, but it's also illegal, and I need somebody to go in with me to turn it in. I just can't find anybody who's got the balls to stand up to the son of a bitches. And even though I record everything, they don't look at it. Yeah?
Huh?
Badass. Do you know what that requires?
What?
Do you know what that requires?
No, but I'll get it done.
Fucking badass. I can pay you for your time, too.
You don't have to pay me.
A lot of people say that, but I need somebody to understand and listen as a professional. And that's pretty easy for anybody to do if they're getting paid.
I'm doing
doing this for free, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I do most what I do. Well, I can't say I do it for free. I pay for most of what I do. But thank you for that. All right, I gotta make sure my phone doesn't die, so I gotta go plug it in. All right, I want to make sure it's not Friday, because on Friday, no, if it was Friday, they'd be closed already. I think they close at 2 on Fridays. Ugh. Women feel like they can destroy our things and get away with it. If we try to turn them in, they just pretend like we beat on them. That's why I don't date. Alright, it takes several trips to get this done. Where the hell? There it is. God damn it, I just paid to have this phone repaired. Thank goodness it didn't break. Somebody typed, don't forget your helmet. Well, isn't that a swell feller? And what do we do with these people? This guy calls him Daniel Gaither. Actions. Hide user on this channel. Blam. And that's how easy it is to get rid of bullies. But only on YouTube. Alright, we'll take this stuff at least. It's pretty important. Now, she tried to make believe like he was just coming by for a leisurely visit. No, he walked in, literally, and said the things that he had to say. It wasn't no leisurely visit like he comes and visits them all the time. The fact that he came in, said my name, and then made false allegations intentionally, knowingly, and willingly in front of people that I was trying to get help from. Well, that's not okay either. See, as soon as a mandated reporter has an at-risk adult in their office, if they're not elderly, they give them the mentally ill treatment. And that is not okay. Why are we being sent to mental health when we're abused? Why? Why are we being discredited for trying to get help stopping abuse? Good question.
Right. Do you have a library card with us already? I think I do. It's just old. I think I left it at home. Let me look you up, and then have you used the Libby app before? Libby is a digital resource that lets you check out books using your library card, so you can check out ebooks and audiobooks. So let me get your card number and to you, and then you'll be able to download the Libby app. Yeah, and I'll give you some information about that. They may have it on there. On there? Okay. I think I might have, that sounds familiar. I think I was clicking around on it a library card number. Yeah. To get started. What's your last name?
The problem is I can't talk about any of the things that I need to talk about. I can't make any other calls. It's not appropriate to do it here. But in order to protect myself, I have to record every conversation. I'm tired of being abused. Tired of it. I'm tired of being victimized because I literally can't take care of myself.
So this will walk you through where to get the app, how to get it set up, and everything. Thank you.
Anyway, obviously there's people here and it's probably not appropriate to call the people I need to call. So when I end the video, I'll be safe. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper and your sister's too, and no victim left behind.
Yeah. Not the same